Hey, what's going on, guys? June here with Hapa英会話, and joining me today is Lewis from the UK. What's going on, Lewis? How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Cold. It's snowing here in Yamanashi, but it's all good.
Yamanashi, that's amazing. And we got Philip from Australia. What's going on, Philip? How are you today?
Doing very well. Complete opposite though, boiling hot, 35 degrees
Boiling
here
hot.
in Perth.
Because it is summer over there
It
in
is
Australia.
summer, yes. Yes, that's right.
And here in LA, believe it or not, it is raining today and it's kind of cold, but that is, according to LA standards, it's about 60 degrees right now, which is probably not that. 60 degrees Fahrenheit, probably to all the listeners and even to you guys, that is a, a term that's really hard to understand. I don't know why the US is like the only place in the world that uses this system. I don't even know what that is in Celsius, but I want to say it's probably around 17 or 18 degrees Celsius, something like that. It's not that cold, but cold enough for me to wear a sweater at least. All right, guys. Well, today we are going to compare the similarities and differences of American, Australian, and British English. I got a couple of different scenarios that we'll be discussing, and we'll take turns responding and answering to these situations. So, Lewis, Philip, are you guys ready to do this?
Let's go for it.
Let's get started, guys. So, we'll start very easy. This is pretty much when you're learning any language, the first thing that you learn is how to greet somebody, all right? So, when you guys greet somebody, and again, when you greet somebody, you are either greeting a friend, somebody that you know, or a stranger. So depending on who you're talking to, it may vary. I want you guys to keep that in mind as you're answering the question. But when you guys greet somebody, what is your go-to greetings? What are maybe two or three things you pretty much say all the time when you greet someone? All right. So Lewis, let's start with you. Lewis from the UK. What do you typically say when you greet somebody?
Well, I think, all the normal stuff like hello, how are you? Um, Nothing too unusual, but there is one thing that maybe if I'm feeling very casual and I'm talking with my friends, I might say I might say sorry. I might say sup fam.
Sup, like a SUP kind of thing.
Sup fam.
Fam, or like FA,
Nice.
like family.
F yes, yes. So even in here in Japan, sometimes if I just kind of I don't know, I'm not paying attention and I get a little bit too relaxed, I might say to someone like, "Oh, sup fam." And they just like have no idea what I'm saying. So yeah, sup as in what is up, like what's happening, what's good, how are you, what is up, sup, and fam, which is kind of, I guess, kind of like London slang for family, like mate, pal, something like that. So yeah, that's if I'm feeling super casual, but otherwise just, regular stuff.
Gotcha. Philip, how about you? Sup? Is that something that you use or you might hear in Australia?
Probably not.
Okay,
At least not for a few years, or many years probably. I've not heard that around, really.
gotcha.
I
All
probably
right,
wouldn't use it myself either. It's a little too, I know, I get the feeling of maybe in Australia, it feels a little 90s.
gotcha.
I'm a 90s kid. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Because speaking of the 90s, I might have to agree with Philip here a little bit, but I think when I was in high school, which is back in the 90s, sup was like super commonly used. And I think like when I was greeting my friends back then, I would probably say sup, man. And I think like instead of fam, it was like man or dude or something along those lines. But sup was common. Also, like when you're texting somebody, it was SUP for short, right? So that was definitely a word that was pretty popular back then. And if I do use it, just like you, Lewis, with my close friends that grew up with me. But I'll probably keep it there.
Let's bring it back.
Exactly. I mean, this is the perfect time to do it. I mean, trends always come back at some point, right? How about you, Philip? What are some of your go-to greetings?
I think we go with the classic Australian g'day, you
Hmm.
know, g'day, how's it going? Sometimes we'll throw in different variations of how are you? Like I just said, how's it going? How's life? What have you been up to? Um, that's usually with just about anybody, whether it's friends or strangers. Um, if I'm really close with somebody, we might even start off with an insult,
Hmm.
like we might be like, oh, who let you in here? Or, oh, the animals escaped from the zoo or something, something like that, just to kind of build that relationship at the start. But yeah, most of the time in Australia, we use like shortened versions rather than like good morning. People just say, oh, morning,
Hmm.
afternoon, evening, stuff like that. Very rarely hi, hello. It's usually like hey or g'day most of the time.
Good day. Yeah, you definitely don't hear that in the United States. Good day. And it took me a split second to even like try to understand what good day meant when you first said it, Philip, and then I caught on. But how about in the UK, good day? Or I'm probably like butchering it right now. I'm trying to say it the Australian way, but good day, is that something that's used in the UK?
I feel like if you say it fully, good day, that feels kind of like I don't know, old fashioned, but in a good way. Good day, sir. I feel like that's good, but shortened, I guess it wouldn't be so common, but if somebody heard it, you'd understand it no problem. So people might not say it so much, but to hear it is, yeah, like no problem.
Gotcha. Yeah. Definitely don't hear much here in LA. But for us, or at least for me here living in LA, I think the one that I use the most and the one that you hear pretty frequently is how's it going? I feel like that's a go-to for a lot of people living here in Southern California, whether it's somebody you meet for the first time or somebody that you've known for a while, or even when you go to restaurants and the waiter or the waitress greets you. A lot of the times the way that they'll greet you is by saying, "Hey guys, how's it going today?" And that just seems to be the typical greeting here in the US. Um, and yeah, I think, with my friends, what's going on might be another one that I might use. What up without the S? I don't know if you guys do that or not, but
Oh,
that's,
I've never heard that
oh,
one.
never heard of that one before. Like,
No,
what
that's
up?
a new one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, no way. Yeah.
Hmm.
That might just be something with my friends. I don't know if that's common here among people living in LA, but at least, with my friends, it's either, "Hey man, how's it going?" or "What up, man?" So you'll never even say the S. And even texting, you'll just completely take out the S and it'll be "what up." So pretty interesting. All right. Well, let's keep it going. So we got the greetings out of the way. Now, if somebody did said good day or how are you or how's it going? How do you guys typically respond to that? So Lewis, let's go back to you again. What is your typical response to a greeting?
Yeah, when somebody asks like how's it going? How are you? Anything like that. I usually, yeah, like to stay as positive as possible. Just say life is good, everything's good, even maybe when things are not so good. Actually, it's kind of for me, it's an opportunity, even if, life is difficult and I'm struggling. I kind of just think to myself, it's like, well, actually, life is good. Even if times are tough, life is good. So yeah, that's my response is I usually like to say life is good, everything's good, I'm doing great. So yeah, try and keep it positive.
I like that, man. Life is good. I feel like I don't hear that much here in the US, but when somebody responds like that, it kind of makes you feel good. Yeah. How about you, Philip? What is your go-to?
Yeah, I mean, usually I'll be like, oh, same old, same old.
Hmm.
Just or nothing special, nothing new, or the usual. Or if I've got something particularly interestingly say, "Oh, you wouldn't believe it, mate," something like that. Sort of just, and then they're gonna lead with a question, "Oh, what's going on?" And then they'll kind of lead into a conversation about the latest happenings or something that effect. Yeah,
Gotcha.
usually. I think most Australians try not to be too positive. I
Mm.
think we we kind of don't like it when someone's having a good life. We like to keep it mellow, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's funny. But that's kind of like the stereotypical like image that I had of people in the UK though. That's not true?
Um, maybe. I'm not sure. I hear what you're saying. I see what
Yeah,
you mean. But yeah, maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
sometimes people respond a little bit like, whoa, why is he so positive? But we
Yes.
need to raise everybody up.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I think when you think about Americans, I think positivity and enthusiasm and all that stuff kind of comes to mind. I think you do hear a lot of people say a lot of positive things and throw out all these positive adjectives to describe how good they're feeling, which, some people do. It's pretty crazy how you might say like, "Hey, how are you today?" And like, "I'm doing super today," or something like along those lines. You'll hear that. I think I'm kind of like you guys. I try to keep it not too good, but not too bad. I'm always the type of person that goes with like, "I'm doing all right," or "I'm doing pretty good. I've been good, not too bad." Something along those lines where it's not good, not bad. I'm just doing okay. But that's pretty much my go-to. But I think when you're living over here, you get all kinds of responses and. Sometimes, I'll be at the grocery store and I'll just say, "Hey, how you doing today?" And they'll just kind of tell me how terrible of a day that they're having and tell me their whole story and their life story that I wasn't really ready for. That happens here sometimes as well.